WNBA games that you watch. And Kiki Iriafin in the center jump circle, and we are underway from Indianapolis, looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. In their 3rd consecutive game without Caitlin Clark, they'll be without her for at least one more after this, and then she'll be reevaluated from there with that quad strain.
3 sides in the first possession, 4 sides playing through the elbows.
Wilson's first shot rims out. Wilson makes her 3rd start, all in place of Caitlin Clark. Here's Sykes, 21 points per game, 4th in the league. Dolson rolling, taken away by Colson. It's a 3-on-2. Colson right up the middle, and she'll take it in for 2.
Really good defensive reaction. Nice job to get that steal and then finish at the rim by Colson. It's good to see her playing healthy. She looked good in shoot-around this morning as well.
There's the rookie Citron into the corner. Sykes, who's averaging 22 per game, misses long on her first attempt. These 2 teams played just last week in Baltimore, a Washington win by 6. The teams have played in so many close games here early in the season. Indiana's 4 losses have come by a combined 11 points, and that's a good start for Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, Stephanie Dolson on the switch has no chance on that. Kelsey Mitchell, the fastest player in the league with the ball in her hands.
She's been struggling just a little bit her last couple of games. We are now into June, which is typically when Kelsey Mitchell turns things on. Talked about that at practice yesterday. June has been her month the last few years. Here's Finn stepping through, and she's called for steps.
Good D, one-on-one. I think these are the things Indiana has to do. Guard the ball first, the action second, play faster in their pace and decision-making, and be disruptive with their defense. Throw off the timing of Washington.
Debbie's Keys are presented by Lexus TX. Dangerous pass there from Colson. And a moving screen called on Boston. It was not set when Mitchell started moving. There is the head and an assistant. Many people thought this Mystics team would be in for a major rebuild. They look more of a playoff contender here through their first 7.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. I think that's why they look ahead of schedule. They played in some close games, which is only going to benefit them when we get into July and August.
Citron, beautiful find inside to Iriafin. Washington's coming off a 22-point loss to New York. Before that, every single one of their first 6 games was decided by 6 points or less.
That's a smart play by Colson.
Mitchell off the mark on a 3, ping-pongs around. Howard couldn't come down with it.
You call that a boomerang pass. When you see a mismatch, you give it right back, and that's exactly what Colson did. She's been aggressive here to start the game.
Shoot Sutton off balance, knocks down her first look. Oh, and Howard got in behind the defense, just couldn't finish inside. That's going to be a goal of Indiana's here tonight. They were held to 0 fast break points in that Wednesday matchup in Baltimore. The Fever already had those early 2 from Sydney Colson, so they've already got more than they did last week as Dolson misses from the mid-range.
Well, Indiana 11th in the league in fast break points, but that will change when Caitlin Clark comes back.
Howard had it knocked away there by Dolson. Citron bounced pass and Hull took it right away for Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana looks really locked in on the defensive end to start the game.
Hull, Howard, way off there on a 3. Fever are coming off a 2-point loss to Connecticut on Friday. The Sun came into Indianapolis, earned their first win.
It facilitates the space, the timing, the rhythm, and her 19 points per game. And then Sophie Cunningham, they miss her versatility, her interchangeability on defense, her ability to knock down, catch and shoot threes. You know, this Indiana team hasn't been whole yet. They've had pieces out, but I believe Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham taking advantage of their time on the bench to try to get better and do what they can to make the team better.
Sykes goes 2 of 2 from the line. She hit 55 free throws in her first 6 games. That's a new WNBA record through her first 6. She's taking 11 free throws per game and has been really dynamic there as we see Ari McDonald in. Bonner too strong on a 3.
You can't foul Sykes. You got to try to keep her in front, and it's a challenge. The two quickest players in the W to me are Kelsey Mitchell and Brittany Sykes going at it right now.
Pass inside, Austin with the step through and a pretty left-handed finish.
Shakira Austin at 6'5" was a challenge for Indiana in the last matchup. She had 15 points, did a good job scoring on the block.
Beaver had the first 4. Washington has rattled off 8 in a row. Indiana's missed 5 straight shots. Mitchell catch and shoot and ends it with a 3.
Great screen on the baseline by Bonner. She occupied 2 defenders with that screen and gave Mitchell a wide open look.
Mitchell's knocked down 2 of her first 3 shots. A welcome sight here for Mitchell and the Fever. They're going to need her to play well, especially in this Clark absence. Austin right back at Boston, draws the foul.
And that will be 2 on Aaliyah Boston. Again in the first quarter. Are fantastic, almost a double-double. She had 7 assists in the last game, Pat, which is a career high for her. She is an excellent passer. Stephanie White was telling me today she thinks her defensive IQ is one of the best for a player that she's coached.
They're going to use her as a hub offensively with Clark out. Here's McDonald driving inside. Got some quickness as Dantas lines up and knocks down a 3.
Well, Ari McDonald doing a nice job getting penetration. They have 3 or 4 sets in that they will run offensively while McDonald is learning the system.
Stephanie White saying they want to keep things simple for her, especially here in this first game. And the foul called there on Kelsey Mitchell.
Conversation at this point in the season, since injuries are up and roster sizes have not changed. So I think it's going to be another point of discussion in the CBA. I think there's a lot of interesting things that are going to come out of that CBA. I'm excited about it.
Sykes nearly came up with the steal. There's McDonald to retrieve it. And then a foul off the ball going on Washington. Kelly Krauskopf brought up in an impromptu press conference after practice. She said, well, we've only got 11 players. You use the exception if you have under 10. So it really only takes a couple players going down to then invoke at least the ability to use it. Fever are only carrying 11 of the 12.
And the exemption allows you to go above the salary cap. That's the emergency part of it when you're a down player. So this is an opportunity for Ari, and it's a good opportunity for the Fever.
She has a lot of quickness. As Hull leans in, 1 step, bounce past Bonner.
Lexi Hull has been a star in her role all season. She shoots the 3 by percentage better than anybody in the league right now at 57%.
The rookie out of Notre Dame, Sonia Citron. Launching over Bonner. 3 ball off the mark. Dantas with the rebound. Bonner off the Dantas screen, sets up Dantas, who buries a 3.
Damiris Dantas is playing with a lot of confidence. Made some nice shots late in the game against Connecticut. That's a good 2-player game right there with a little pick and pop action.
Fever had the first 4. Washington responded with an 8-0 run. The Fever now on an 11-2 advantage. Miscommunication and stolen by McDonald, who races to the other end and finishes.
Well, if that doesn't get your engine going for Ari McDonald, comes right in the game and has an impact.
Feels like she's found a home in Washington, starting the season where she was last year for the first time in the WNBA. Bonner leaves that one short. Felt like there was a foul. Golson inside, deep position, and first a whistle.
Iriafin does a good job in transition. Once she gets DeWanna Bonner on her back, she doesn't give up.
Iriafin, face-up game, knocks it down.
She has been aggressive. She does not look like a rookie out there. She's not built like a rookie. She and Citron have done a really nice job.
In preseason, this is the 3rd time these 2 teams have seen each other. The early goings here in 2025. got her hands up and called for the foul on Dantas. Foster on opening day. Mitchell thought about that deep three. Indiana turns it over.
Brittany Sykes is yet to really get going. You got to come with a long closeout on Dolson. She's got tremendous three-point range, especially in the trail.
Makes her with a huge size advantage and takes advantage of it over McDonald. They've checked in a couple buckets here in 2 minutes. Dantas through traffic, draws the foul.
This is a one-on-one, low-post power game by Enxler. You see the size advantage. She just works hard to get to that left shoulder. Nice job using the glass with the contact.
So Damiris Dantas to the line here for the first time tonight for Indiana. She's knocked down a pair of three-point shots. This is an area where the Fever started off really poor but have been much better. The foul line. Fever at 63% through 4 games. They've shot 83% there in their last 2. They're still a league worst 71%, but it's coming up back to its averages. And Dantas sinks the pair. 8 points lead all scores here tonight. The Fever have 12 points off the bench here in the first quarter.
Mary McDonald doing a really good job moving her feet.
Sykes off balance, had that pass deflected, but Iriafin carving out space.
Yeah, right now it's points in the paint for Washington. That's 3 consecutive buckets inside at the rim.
Scored Indiana 12-6 in the paint here so far. Dantas can't make it 3 for 3. This is where Sykes is dangerous in transition. Golson picks her up, the step through, bank shot too strong. Iriafin's been aggressive, that one finds its way to Bonner. Pick up the pace here as McDonald launches and misses.
And maybe the last 2 threes too quick by Indiana. You gotta have a feel, right? You like to see when the defense is back, if you can get a couple of sides, move the ball. Don't let it stick.
Indiana's 16 shots have come from the three-point line. Washington's taken just 1 from out there. Iriafin might have to take a second. Instead, it's into Sykes, who just gets rid of it and can't connect on the 3.